overall would be very nice to drive around in this. Hey channel, Terry here on Down the Road Productions. Welcome back for a new episode. Today we're looking at a 2025 4Runner TRD Pro. It's compelling in some degrees, and other degrees we need to talk about it. So hey guys, let's get into this episode. Thank you for being here. Let's have a good episode and let's talk about this new Toyota 2025 4Runner TRD Pro. Big issue with the 6th Gen 4Runner is the hood shaking. This is costing Toyota sales. I just talked to a salesman that said he lost a sale on a TRD off-road premium, took it out with the customer, and the customer noticed the hood shaking. I mean, overall, I guess for most people, it's a good looking truck, and it's a top line model. I've always liked this here. Now we've got black, TRD and gunmetal chrome, and Pro in red. This is really super nice. I've mentioned before, I wish these could be just a bit larger, maybe go out a bit further. It seems like they're limited. They're just dropping off real quick in the curve here. The gap and build quality looks good on this too, so that's definitely gotten better. Just walking the gaps. Not exactly perfect here, but a lot better than it's been. Around here's good. Oh, this looks good here. Now here widens and then narrows here gap wise, and maybe that's by design. Let's check the other side. Oh, this is fine. Yeah, it's not so wide here, so the hood needs better fit. Like I told you guys, it's shaking right here when you drive the vehicle. The whole thing shakes from here to here. The transmission seems to downshift very quickly. I don't feel this truck is as smooth as the 5th generation for acceleration. I just don't. Okay, here comes another good turn here. I'm doing about 38 miles an hour. So the same feedback. I'm fine with the steering, to be honest with you, given what kind of truck this is, an off-road truck. I just wish it were the steering was a bit lighter for this type of turn. Here, you got to be so careful with delivery drivers and stuff. They always come flying out. That's my #1 concern when I drive or ride a motorcycle. I give the suspension, the Fox suspension, a lot of credit. It really limits body sway, but you still move in your seat. The thing killing me is that 4-cylinder sound. I just don't want to listen to it. I really wish, Toyota, if you're listening to On Down the Road Productions, please quiet this 4-cylinder in the cabin here. I know it can be done. It's coming right from the engine compartment, that noise, that lawnmower noise. So going through here, it's a nice driver. It is. The seats are more comfortable than they are in my 5th Gen 4Runner. I'm comfortable in my 5th Gen 4Runner for sure. These are better seats than what's in my 5th Gen 4Runner. Not by much, but they feel better. And let's do the hill test here. See if it downshifts. Yeah, it's a nice driver, except for that engine noise coming into the compartment. Okay guys, let's check out what this powertrain sounds like. I'll open the hood and we'll start her up and we'll just check it out, and I'll offer my comments. on that as well. A few general comments from me. Obviously there's a prop rod here. We have said before that it should be gas charged struts on both sides of the truck. I mean, we're talking $70,000 before you add in taxes and dealer fees. And the hood is kind of heavy to lift on. I don't know why it's shaking here when you drive the truck. It's a minor challenge to lift the hood for some people, not for me. And then positioning the prop rod. I just don't think a vehicle this expensive should just have a prop rod for the hood. And this just screams of cost cutting from Toyota. To be honest with you, a gas charged strut here and here may eliminate the hood shaking. I don't know why they made this decision, except maybe to make more money off these trucks. It's a big mistake on Toyota's part to think if you just put TRD Pro on a truck, people will empty their bank accounts. This looks kind of cool here, the TRD K&N air filter setup here. That's kind of nice. That looks good. There's your hybrid stuff back there. It looks like a really busy engine compartment on this truck. I mean, it looks better than a Ford or GM or Stellantis product right off the bat. For me, I'm always going to question too why there's no engine cover on this truck, especially for $70,000. Just a nice Toyota engine cover. It can be done. It sure can be done. I'm out on the size of the radiator too for this truck in extreme conditions. Time will tell. Timing chains matter. This truck has a timing chain, the competitors don't. I do not believe this truck has that El Cheapo oil pump driven by a rubber belt above the oil pan like the other trucks do. Competitor trucks. All right, let me start this up. Foot on the brake. You hit this red button. I like it up high here. Okay, that's our startup procedure. And we are averaging 15.3 mpg for this review. All right, let's go out and look at the engine. Well, you can hear the ticking and rattling of this motor. That needs to be quieted up. And an engine cover would help in that regard, for sure. I would hope Toyota in the future, when they do a mid-cycle refresh on this truck, addresses the powertrain noise. And let me come back here. Here's your sound here. Kind of a rumbly 4-cylinder noise. My other thought too is, why isn't this off to the left side of the truck? It's TRD Pro. That hurts your departure angle. And this is your top of the line $70,000 TRD Pro 4Runner. This should be off to the side to help with your departure angles when you're off-roading. Why did they do that? Why? I'm just not used to engines, motors sounding like this, guys. I'm not. All right, let's do our hood thunk test. And this is a heavy hood. Feels a lot heavier than it does on the 5th gen. Could be the angle, but it does. And let's just close it. That's a pretty loud noise. I wish the hood closed nicer as well. I mean, we're talking $70,000 here, folks. If this truck was a $48,000 truck, I'd say okay. And I wonder if it truly could be sold for $54,000 in this package like it is, and if it really is tremendously marked up, given all the part sharing it does with the Tacoma, all the moves they took to take money out of the production costs for building this truck. It shouldn't be this expensive. All right, you probably have seen interior reviews on the 6th Gen 4Runner already ad nauseum. Here's the material I wish was nicer here. This is acceptable, but the material on the 5th Gen 4Runner should be what they use for this lid area of the dashboard. It's got the removable JBL speaker, which is kind of cool. And overall standard 6th Gen 4Runner fare here. So the ingress here, I mean, you can do it. It's just doesn't have the ingress of the 5th Gen here, and you can, looks like you're going to be eating your knees quite a bit here. Because, you know, people want to push their seat back and be comfortable when they drive this truck. The seats are nice though. Nice material. The soft text seating is nice. Another key comment I want to make is the sunroof too seems smaller than it does in the 5th Gen. Another thing that has really been talked about in the new 6th generation 4Runners is the wrap into the roof of this rear window and the rear quarter panel. You know, it's growing on me, and it does differentiate it a bit, but it breaks the styling line here. But past that, I mean, it still looks okay. I've talked about this front end before. You know, you've got rigid fog lights here, you've got a nice light bar right here, and you've got the old school Toyota grille. I wish they could do something with these headlights, make them bigger or less Tacoma like. Whatever they could do here. Great tires, great rims. We have this on our 5th Gen 4Runner. You can see the great suspension here, the TRD branding in the red. That looks first rate. All this here looks extremely heavy duty. Going through here, this concave in styling. The rear door here looks very narrow. And let's open it up. So here you have padded material, which is good. And look at how narrow it is here. So I'm like 6 foot. I mean, this is fine for kids or smaller folks. The 5th Gen 4Runner had a nice rear seat on it. It really did. Let me go this way. Let's do our famous door thunk test. Alright, that was okay. Here, let's look at the rear suspension area. You can see the red again. All this looks good to me. Here in the center console, you've got 2 high, 4 low, tow haul, deck, crawl is spinning here. As you spin it, it changes on the IP what you're looking at. Kind of cool. It should be the same color as your truck though, as the truck you bought, if you ask me. I want to check the acceleration for you guys. I'm going to give it some gas. Alright, it gets up and goes, no question. One thing about this rear view mirror camera, it looks like vehicles are right on top of you when you're at a traffic light. It stresses me out, right, if people are on my bumper at a traffic light. I don't know if they can fix this. I would love to just to sit here and not hear the motor at all. Just have that premium feel at $65,000 to $70,000 K price point. I wish it were serene quiet. I really do. Or quieter than it is now. A few general comments I want to make about ergonomics. They are very good. This steering wheel is superior to the 5th Gen steering wheel. It truly is. And I've said before, I love that red stripe there in the center and the TRD badging right there. So they got the steering wheel right. I've gotten more used to this dashboard that is shared with Tacoma. It's grown on me a bit. It's still a touch too plasticky for me. The red stitching Highlights are nice. Dual zone climate control. Everything is pretty where you would want it to be in terms of, you know, ergonomics. And unlike the Land Cruiser, these mirrors offer great coverage when you're changing lanes or looking at what's next to the truck while you drive. Do love the hood scoop here. Everything else very comfortable, very livable. Whoa, man. What a windy day. Overall, a nice, capable truck. The sticking point is the price point versus the truck itself. And, you know, definitely a lot easier to lease a $70,000 truck, $75,000 truck than it is to outright purchase one. Okay guys, time to wrap up this episode, our review of a 2025 4Runner TRD Pro, the new 6th generation model. So for $70,000, that's a lot of money for this truck given its 4-cylinder power plant. It just seems a bit too expensive for what it's offering, especially when the last TRD Pro, people were used to paying $54,000 to $56,000 for it, around that range. Going up another $16,000 doesn't make a lot of sense. A couple points I want to make is, why can't they just cut prices $5,000 to $8,000 across the board and just sell more trucks, get more customers in the door? And again, you know, I'm disappointed with the shill channels, the fanboy channels that pushed this truck when it was new, expecting everyone to run out and buy it, and being very disparaging to the last gen 4Runner just to shill and get views on YouTube. They miss so many key points. This shares architecture with a pickup truck, the Tacoma. It shares a powertrain with the Tacoma, and these are all major cost-cutting moves. It shares so much DNA with the Tacoma pickup truck, and the previous generation 4Runner really didn't share very much with the Tacoma at that time. It was its own deal. So how do you walk away from that unless you convince corporate HQ in Japan that we'll raise prices and make even more money than we did? I'm always going to wonder, until the day I die, why Toyota didn't just update the body panels on the 5th gen, give the V6 an 8-speed transmission, tune that engine a bit, and give it a new interior for a lot less money. I'm always going to wonder why. Some other key points I want to make about this truck is that it does have the upgraded Fox suspension, all that good stuff. I just kind of feel the previous generation rode better with the Fox suspension. In my humble opinion, I think that 4-cylinder is just working too hard. It's not a great sound coming into the truck from that 4-cylinder. Toyota needs to find a way to quiet up the motor. The shaking hood, we talked about it. I've seen no other channel talk about the shaking hood. I really don't care about the shill channels. They're not going to talk about things like that, but we will. I'm not going to BS you guys, but they should brace up the hood so it doesn't shake. Incomes have not caught up with new car pricing yet, right? So when you're talking $58,000, $60,000, $76,000, $90,000 for a new vehicle, especially if they're made with cheap parts and componentry, have a terrible history of recalls, the engineering's questionable, there's transmission issues. All the manufacturers need to get their quality house in order and get their engineering durability house in order like yesterday. Now this truck has a timing chain, and timing chains matter, and we love a timing chain on any vehicle. Rubber belts just don't cut it. Another key point from on down the road productions that, you know, let's just say you're paying sticker, your fees, taxes, you're at 75, 76K, I would jump over to the Sequoia almost immediately. I think the one we tested, the TRD Pro, could have been had for $78,000, I believe, maybe $81,000. So I would do Sequoia TRD Pro if I was spending this much money. Now, if this truck was $54,000, even $56,000, yeah, I mean, I'd stick with it. But once you get past that magic $58,000 pricing mark in the auto industry, you really have to slam dunk home run your vehicles. And you know, I'm not chilling. The truck needs a nicer interior, it needs a quieter power plant, and it needs a hood that doesn't shake when you drive it. Hey guys, I've talked to Craig, channel friend at Fox Toyota, and he's willing to work with anyone who wants to buy this truck and give them a great price. Definitely no dealer markups or fees will be involved. That right there is going to save you a ton of money. And shipping, if you're out of state from Michigan, shipping a vehicle is not a problem. Coming here and driving it home is a fun thing to do. And call Craig and just say On Down the Road Productions said to call, and you may get a price you weren't expecting on a 2025 4Runner TRD Pro that's basically loaded. And you'll love Craig, he's a good guy.